After 11 days of bluster, dramatic accusations, and colorful language, Anthony Scamamucci is out of the job of White House Communications Director. The announcement coming just days after he backed out of his appearance at this year's Politicon. And with Tomi Lahren and Chelsea Handler squaring off in the main event, he missed a heck of a show. Here's ABC's Nick Watt.
Politicon, the unconventional convention. Costumes.
Just an ex-president trying to get a hot dog.
Photo me booths.
Comic-Con, but for politics.
Like a comic book convention, but dragging political junkies of every hue out of their basements.
You wanted to start a war with Iran and Russia. That's insane!
The daily drama in D.C. means there are more of those junkies than ever. Interest is high, passions are hot.
I'll take the question, yeah.
Anthony Scamamucci, the president's brand new communications director here in spirit, was supposed to be here in person, pulled out Friday morning. Today, the mooch, as he's known, resigned after taking office just 11 days ago, July 21st.
I love the president. I obviously love the country.
Beleaguered spokesman Sean Spicer then resigned in protest, and Scamamucci, a swaggering multi-millionaire Wall Street veteran, made the Sunday show rounds.
We're as strong as our weakest leak. What's going on right now is a high level of unprofessionalism.
Next day, Monday, July 24th, his wife gives birth to their second son. Scamamucci is not present. Then, Wednesday, July 26th, Scamamucci calls a New Yorker reporter who'd just tweeted the guest list of an intimate White House dinner. Next morning, the story drops. Scamamucci claims he's not in this for media attention. I'm not Steve Bannon. I'm not trying to blank my own blank. Scamamucci suggests Chief of Staff Reince Priebus might be a leaker. Reince is a blank paranoid schizophrenic paranoiac. The next day, this past Friday, President Trump announces General John Kelly as his new Chief of Staff. Reince Priebus has resigned. This morning, Trump unveils Kelly.
General Kelly will go down in terms of the position of Chief of Staff, one of the great ever.
And this afternoon, Scamamucci resigns.
The president certainly felt that Anthony's comments were inappropriate for a person in that position. And he didn't want to burden General Kelly also with that line of succession.
This evening, the president tweeted a great day at the White House. Much of our discourse these days is online, but here at Politicon, it's face-to-face. More than 10,000 people showed up here over the weekend, an attendance record 3 times the gate of the inaugural Politicon back in 2015. It's getting bigger, right?
It is getting bigger, and it's getting more conservative this year.
This is Pasadena, California, far from the Beltway and deep in a state often thought politically monochrome. It's not.
LA, there's a lot of Mexicans. It's just, I feel like they're bringing in drugs and bad things.
The public is engaged. A recent Pew survey found nearly 6 in 10 women say they're paying more attention to politics since President Donald Trump won the election.
It is energizing to be in a space where so many people care so passionately about politics that they would wait in a line for a long time to get into a panel about politics.
They don't have to have a conversation, but at least they can start listening to each other.
Wear a costume, get a half-price ticket.
We're looking for a new FBI director. Might you be interested?
I'm a foreigner.
It's fine. We work really well with foreigners.
That is actually Roger Stone.
I believe in limited government. That's my main thing, and I think that that's, in some ways, that's libertarian.
24-year-old Tomi Lahren in the right corner versus lefty liberal Chelsea Handler.
I understand about having limited government. I understand that argument, but what about human decency with people that cannot afford?
This conversation hyped as the heavyweight title fight of Politicon. A little earlier, we were backstage as the main attractions met. Tomi Lahren doesn't hold back on TV or in her internet offerings.
I'm getting pretty sick and tired of the failing mainstream media. Your husband was a drug dealer. It protects your right to be a whiny, indulgent, attention-seeking crybaby.
Last week, lauding the president's tweeted transgenders in the military ban.
The military is not a social experiment. It's a fighting force. Finally, we have a commander-in-chief who understands that and isn't willing to put feelings and political correctness over military readiness and the mission.
Confronted about that backstage.
Unfortunately, some of the stuff that say, even though you may not say it from that place, there are people that are listening to that and they interpret it in the wrong way.
Elsewhere, plenty Tomi fans. This guy all the way from Michigan.
She got me into politics.
He could be into, Kim Kardashian and Lady Gaga, but he's interested in politics, so I'll take that as a win for me.
And here, she tops the bill.
Should she have that platform? No, I don't think that a professional racist should have a platform.
You genuinely believe everything you say?
Absolutely.
This isn't just, you're not just a media creation.
No.
You're not just promoting yourself and taking these positions because they get you attention.
Absolutely not. No, for me, there are so many out there, law enforcement and military in particular, they can't speak out on these issues. So if I can be their voice, and I get letters from around the world.
That's a huge presumption that you want to be the voice of the military or the police.
If I can be a small voice, I'm going to do it every day.
I think politics and entertainment have always been mixed together. I can imagine that Julius Caesar was a very good communicator.
That's Politicon's organizer, Simon City. 30 years a limey live music producer working with the likes of Depeche Mode and Kanye West. Now this.
Don't cheer after everything we say, please, okay? We're not at a football game.
Do you think the two sides actually listen to each other?
No, I don't.
Remember young Dwight?
Okay, if there was proof of collusion with Russia, would you withdraw your support of President Trump? There is.
No, there's no proof.
Let's hear a little more from Chelsea and Tomi.
Do you have a health care plan or no?
Well, luckily, I'm 24, so I am still on my parents. And to say, yeah, you can laugh.
Tomi admitting she's still on her parents' health insurance, a tenet of Obamacare, which she opposes. 1 point Chelsea. But this, Marco Rubio has cropped up.
He's just like a, he's like a non-man.
He's a what?
Like a non-man.
So, Chelsea, how do we go from talking about the feelings of transgenders to you saying Marco Rubio is a non-man?
Maybe he should cross over.
5 minutes?
-1 Chelsea. And this about Trump.
He lies every day.
What did he lie to you about?
Well, what did he lie to me about? I mean, where do I start?
She didn't know where to start. Another handler fumble. There was a lot of sound and fury. But for me, this conversation is a metaphor for the country.
We refuse a fascist America!
Deep, unwavering, passionate views, standing their ground and, frankly, getting nowhere.
We have people like you on the right, we have similar people on the left. Do you think you're actually helping this country, or you're just actually tearing it further apart?
You know what, that's what's so frustrating to me about the left and what liberals say is they think that conservative voices shouldn't be allowed to speak because they call us divisive.
I spoke to somebody earlier today who described you as a professional racist and said that you shouldn't have this platform.
That's unfortunate. I think that, first of all, I'm a supporter of free speech. I'm not a racist. The left does this to us all the time. The right has to be strong enough to say, I'm not a racist, but I have policy positions and I have agenda items that I'm going to speak to, and I'm not going to be afraid to do it.
This is the new normal. Politics right now.
Just how I wake up in the morning.
The best entertainment we've got. I'm Nick Watt for Nightline in Pasadena, California.